Hello, and I'm Lisa Benson with today's Green News. Our top stories this week: California is charging up their mail system, and New Mexico builds carbon-free community. But first, a new biofuel may be catching on. In a world where oil prices are on the rise and an ever-dwindling supply, scientists are turning to alternative methods to produce fuel. There seems to be a new and more improved type of biofuel every year, but the newest is sending shockwaves through the country. In a recent Nature magazine article, scientists from the Joint Bioenergy Institute at the Department of Energy explained how they were able to engineer biofuel from a very interesting source. They are using strains of E. coli. In controlled experiments, the scientists engineered strains of E. coli to produce fatty esters, which are comparable to what we know as biodiesel. Alternative fuels have been developed over the past several years from other unlikely sources, such as corn. Corn ethanol is a controversial type of biofuel that is now being backed by the Obama administration. The Environmental Protection Agency spoke out in early February about the latest science on potential crop yields for corn. Considering the data, the EPA produced a new government mandate to produce more ethanol from corn. Corn ethanol produced in the future has the potential to decrease its greenhouse gas emissions by 20%, a number that entices leaders at the EPA. However, there is bound to be some skepticism among environmentalists who say using food crops for fuel is not the right answer. The government promises a boost to the farm industry and a lessening of the country's foreign dependence on oil if producers meet these mandates, something that has economists hoping. Some, however, are making the shift away from fuel altogether, like electric automaker Zap, which is preparing to launch its newest vehicle, a mail truck. The United States Postal Service contracted the company to build them a prototype for a new electronically powered mail truck. Federal legislation has the power to convert 20,000 mail trucks to electric if Zap produces impressive results. While Zap is a company dedicated solely to zero-emission vehicles, traditional automakers are jumping on the electric trend. Kia recently unveiled a plug-in hybrid vehicle complete with a solar roof. The first in Kia's sub-brand EcoDynamics, the Ray, features many ecologically sound features, such as film and materials to reduce solar heat and a 202 mile-per-gallon capability. It's not a traditional hybrid either. The Ray can travel over 100 miles per hour and can run for 50 miles on its battery alone. If you thought cars were the only piece of technology due for a green makeover, you haven't heard of Promethean Power Systems. The company recently came up with a solar-powered commercial refrigerator, ideal for companies and organizations in developing countries. Now, organizations in countries such as India and China can store perishable food items without using fuel or generators, and without cost to the environment. Developers have been increasingly concerned with the overuse of unsustainable methods of fuel in developing countries, such as coal. With new technologies like the solar-powered refrigeration system, these countries have the opportunity to develop in a more eco-friendly way. However, there is still plenty of room for those in the United States to grow in regards to green technology. Researchers at the California Institute of Technology developed a new silicon nanorod solar cell that uses only 1% of the materials currently used in solar cells. The idea will allow researchers in the area of solar technology to develop without using an exorbitant amount of resources in the process. The new solar cells are economical too. With fewer materials, these cells have the potential to create very affordable solar panels that could one day be on the forefront of the energy industry in the United States. Well, I'll have your green living tips of the week when we come back.
Greenstock is holding their first annual Greenstock Concert and Expo. The stage and exhibitor booths will be powered by solar and biofuel technology. Companies will be able to feature their company products and technology to local homeowners and socially responsible communities. To become an exhibitor or for more information about Greenstock, please call our toll-free number at 1-866-216-8814 or visit greenstocksrock.com.
As we move forward, technology has become smaller, stronger, and more diverse than ever before. Manhattan Scientific's breakthrough biomagnetic nanomedicine will redefine the medical field with an enhanced early cancer detection system and nano-titanium metal up to 400 times stronger, yet lighter than existing alloys. Imagine Manhattan Scientific's technology solutions that shape the future. Publicly traded under symbol MHTX.
Welcome back to Green News. Here are a few friendly tips on how to live your daily life with the environment in mind. Bring your own container. Whether you're headed to the coffee shop or to the grocery store, bringing your own mug or bags can greatly reduce your personal impact on the amount of waste you produce. Hang your dry clothing. Many dryers are inefficient, and by hand drying your clothing, you not only help save energy, but you also do not have to deal with those pesky wrinkles in your clothing. Just make sure to not forget about your clothes if you hang them outside. Buy seasonal produce. Check out your local farmers markets to see what produce is in season and come up with fun recipes for those foods. By buying more produce that is in season where you live, you reduce the amount of miles your food has to travel to get to you. These tips can help to get you through your life in a world where sometimes the last thing we want to think about is our environmental footprint. But what if your entire life and community revolved around a sustainable living pattern? The proposed Terra community in New Mexico seeks to do just that. Promoted as a place where people work, live, and play all in one place, it aims to be the world's largest sustainable city. The homes in the Terra community will produce more energy than they consume, while green industry will develop on the land in and around the community. As a carbon-neutral environment, Terra has the potential to show the world a completely new and sustainable way of living. In other news, the website Green Bride Guide has created a new podcast section to help couples create the eco-friendly wedding of their dreams. In interviews with green industry professionals, the podcast gives advice about how to live greener, the importance of being eco-friendly, and the future for sustainability and the economy. Weddings are a huge source of waste, and sites like Green Bride Guide are doing their part to try and reduce that waste as much as possible. While some are leading the environmental charge in the private sector, researchers continue to look for alternative energy forms. Swedish university researchers recently developed a battery from just salt and paper, a piece of technology that has the potential to revolutionize the way portable devices are powered and how batteries are manufactured. With the salt acting as an electrolyte and the paper as the electrodes, one of the practical uses of such a battery would be a medical device. As a cheap alternative to the traditional battery, these energy sources can be manufactured easily in areas of the world that are still developing as well. Next week, New York will host the Greener Gadgets Conference, and some of the gadgets up for award have people spinning. One is a charger for mobile phones that is activated by friction. The Go mechanical charger can be rubbed on any surface to produce energy. Another gadget, the Fair Energy Clock, works on a timer system and can be used to provide power to certain electronics at any time or times during the day. Another gadget that will be mentioned at the conference is the Smart Grid home controller. It works on a Wi-Fi connection and is designed to turn off appliances not in use so you can save energy and money. Well, that's all for today's Green News. I'm Lisa Benson, and thanks for watching.